Hello everyone, in this video I will talk about my life in Poland, the job that I worked, the reason why I left Poland. So let me start with my job experience in Poland while I was staying there. And the first time I went to Poland it was in 2018 in October. And immediately I went there, I started to look for a job because I didn't have scholarship to cover my expenses. That's why I had to work. Personally, I would say that it wasn't that much difficult to find a job when you want to look for something, and if you just spend your days to look for it, you will be able to find it. And as everyone, I found a job in a service sector, which is not that much desirable actually as a student because it will be very difficult for you. Physically, it wasn't that much difficult hiring, but somehow morally, I wasn't able to accept this job, and I was working in a restaurant system. After working there 1 month, I decided to quit this job after continuous moral pressure on myself. So I just stopped working there after 1 month and looked for another job. Actually, after 1 month, the funniest part that I found another job, but it was on restaurant system, but it was a little bit different because it wasn't Burger King, and I was supposed to work there 3 days a week, and it was 8 or 10 hours. I wouldn't say it was a physically difficult job, and my salary was really enough for my daily expenses and for my monthly expenses. I was working there part-time job. I mean, 3 days a week, like at 8 to 10 hours, working was enough my all expenses during the 1 month. And but again, my moral pressure just rise and said that you will not be working here anymore. And every day I was telling to myself, you have to quit this job. And with this saying, I worked there almost 2 months. But during these 2 months, I didn't stay quiet. I applied for another job during these 2 months. I was also applying for another universities. Even so, I was studying abroad. My study abroad ambition didn't keep quiet, and I was applying for different universities in Europe and in around the world. So I was applying for the universities, I was applying for a job, and during these 2 months, in the end of these 2 months, I decided I will quit this job. And then I went back to the job and said that I want to quit this job and I want to write this form for quitting job. And in December, I finished this job, and then, but after a while, I got invitation for interview in an international company for a job. It was in Wrocław. I used to live in Katowice, and I just went to this interview and I passed successfully this interview. And but at the same time again, and there was admission offer from the university in Israel for me to study in Israel with scholarship. So I had two options. I had to choose to study in Israel, or I had to stay in Poland and work in an international company. So by looking at it, when some people think that about international companies and working in an office, think that you just sitting in front of the computer and drinking your coffee and do whatever you want. I would say it's a little bit different and difficult, because when you're working in an international company, everything that you should do is just sit in front of the computer and contact with the customers and communicate with them, or put some customer in contact with a specialist if you cannot solve his or her problem. And this is like a 10 hours in front of the computer, and I knew that I will not be able to stay in front of the computer for 10 hours because it really hurts my head. And I knew that it will be somehow in the end of the day, I will be tired and I will not have any energy to do anything in my life. But on the other side, Israel was there, and I had another option, another country to explore and to live and to study. And they were paying me like 1,750 shekel to study here. And this company was supposed to pay me 2,500 2,500 zloty for a beginning. It was a beginning money. Actually, they were supposed to increase it after a while. So I just sit down and think about my options, and then consider it, what should I do, which kind of advantage they have. And in the end of the day, I decide to go on my educational career rather than taking a job and staying in Poland and moving to Wrocław. I decided to move to Israel, and I came to Israel in February. I applied for visa, and I just called to the company that offered the job for me. I declined this job offer, and then I got my visa to Israel and came to Israel. And it happened almost a year ago, but there many things happened after that. I think that I will talk about in other videos, because if I talk it right now, it will take 30 minutes of your time. So I will make another videos about life in Israel. And till that time, take care of yourself, and thank you very much for watching this video.